I think we're kind of shooting for the possibility of third week of May to do kind of a soft opening for a couple days a week just to kind of get a launch. But we do have some specialty decorating and some things we want to work on as we get going.
Yeah.
We also want to make sure, we're not breaking too much too fast. So, I think it'll probably still be by the end of May. We'll have something open by end of May.
Grand opening will be sometime in June.
Soon.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Soon.
You can taste it.
I think the other thing to remember too is we've done a very good job of promoting the business.
You guys have,
and with that, we have a lot of people that would love to have the opportunity to come see it. Because if they've been supporting us for these pop-ups we've been doing, how nice would it be to invite them out and say, we want to give you first access because you've been with us since the pop-up days, and that's not something you want to forget about. Is people giving their time, their money, their voice to your business by reposting stuff, posting photos that are complimentary to what we're trying to do, and we really want to make sure we take care of those people.
Yeah, definitely want to say thank you to anybody listening.
Yeah,
we had the Shop Cigar Lounge host us, so thank you, Mike. We had Blip Roasters actually host us. 403 Club hosted us.
Third place.
And third place also hosted us, and I think we had a great turnout.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Strawberry Hill Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Simmons, and we are here at Strawberry Hill, here at the Shop Cigar Lounge in Strawberry Hill, and we have a, what do we call it, threesome, foursome guest?
Foursome.
There are three people additional to you. That's what we're going to say.
Yes. I guess before we get started, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, make sure you follow us on all our platforms. So let's get started here. So we have Dan, Doty, Houston, Roxie, and they are the new owners and operators at, is it called Blue Palm Tiki? Did I get that right?
The Blue Palm.
The
Blue Palm Lounge that's opening up in Strawberry Hill. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
I can speak for most of the Hill that I know, that I've talked to, that we are excited to have you guys come in.
We're ready.
Yeah, I know you guys are ready. Yeah, and then you guys have probably the best view in the Hill, too. So I'm jealous.
We're pretty stoked on it.
Yeah. I take a walk by there almost every day. So I kind of want to just step in and just I want to be here.
Soon we'll have chairs.
Yeah.
And libations for you to sit and enjoy the
yes,
view.
I get to finally enjoy it.
A little break on your walk. We're not mad at it.
Well, I do it early in the morning. I don't want to seem like an alcoholic at 9 in the morning getting a drink. But hey, if you're open,
we know it's fine.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. So Dan, let's start with you. I guess a little bit of background of you and how you got in this world and doing a bar and everything.
How I got in this world. My parents had sex.
And then you became Dan.
And then it happened. I came here in 2008 from Birmingham, Alabama, and I've always kept a hand in the service industry. A sales career has been my primary job. And I'd always really wanted to have a tiki bar, a tiki lounge, something like that, just because I've had so much fun in them over the years and just traveling and checking out different ones around the country. And when the opportunity presented itself to get the old Mockingbird Lounge space, and that view really was the major driving force for me. At that point, it's about finding the right people to surround yourself with, and that's what I've done with Houston and Roxie.
Yeah, so you were from Alabama.
Well, I was in Alabama working after college. I'm from Ohio originally, so if you look at the map of my life, it's just I started in the Rust Belt, went down to the oppressive South, and then I landed in the Mecca, which is Kansas City.
So what brought you here?
Work.
Which one?
So I got relocated when I was in the steel industry up here, and then I was like, I'm never leaving this town. It's great.
So when did you move up here?
2008. February of 2008.
Definitely didn't leave. Yeah.
So I love it up here.
Welcome to KC.
It's been a while, but thank you.
You've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Houston? You know what? Never mind. Roxie, we gotta do
Fine.
Oh, geez.
Let's get there.
I'm a KC girl. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, kind of all over Northland area, out in the country a little bit. Got into bartending, man, and it resonated, and that's what I decided that,
what was the first bar you worked at?
Davies Uptown Ramblers Club.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I cut my teeth at Davies. I've always been in live music, venues, which is great. We love a dive bar. You can't go wrong with a dive bar. But passion has always been whiskey and rum based.
Yeah.
I love tiki, like culture, the history of it. It falls into that like pinup era of things that I was heavily into a million years ago. But I like serving people. I like hearing their stories. I like creating different types of weird cocktails. Give me a random flavor and like, let's roll and let's make something weird but delicious. So tiki is really susceptible to that, which I like twisting it to where it's not just pineapple and coconut. Pineapple and coconut are fabulous, don't get me wrong. But like, throw some taro in there, throw some honeydew, like get weird. Throw a bitter element like Malort.
You love your Malort.
I love Malort.
I hate you for that.
I know, my husband's from Chicago, blame him.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, that's the Chicago thing there.
We're currently drinking.
Yeah, what are we drinking here? You want to describe it?
So this it will be on the menu under bitter sales. It is a Plantaray, because they finally changed their name. Formerly Plantation Rum.
Hey, you changed that goddamn name.
Right.
Sorry.
Guys, we're progressing, we're growing. We love that. So it is the Plantaray OFTD. OFTD stands for Oh Fuck That's Delicious.
Look at there.
Which is an overproof dark rum. It's delicious. Malort, some passion fruit, lime juice,
Malort.
and pineapple.
So there's a lot of ingredients in this thing.
And then I milk clarified it because
I don't know what that means, but it sounds
it's
hard.
a fancy terminology for you have a cocktail in one pour and it's shelf stable. Yeah. There's a lot of science behind it.
So how long have you been bartending?
Just shy of 15 years.
Jeez, you're a vet.
Or something.
Yeah. Dan, how long have you been bartending before?
I bartended before, but I've always spent more time in the kitchens and the front of house. I'm also 6.5 feet tall, so you put my fat ass behind a bar. There's a lot less bar area for the other bartenders to work through. They're not walking through me. So I've always kind of said, well, I'll be on the floor, and if there needs to be a bouncer, we'll make it happen.
I'm going to get back to the food stuff. Houston, you're up on the Strawberry Hill podcast. Sorry.
Who's Houston?
Houston, I don't know what your nickname is. Pony Boy.
Don't even start. The Apollo 13 jokes kick in. And
I wouldn't even doing that.
H-Town. Yeah, no, I'm good. Kansas City native, born and raised. Proud of it. I lived actually in Houston after high school for a little bit.
No. Houston from Houston.
Just south of Chicago for a little bit, and I loved it here, so I came back.
So why'd you move to Houston?
For school. I went to trade school there, learned how to do paint, body work, all that great stuff. Became a certified collision tech. Decided I did not want to work in a hot, sweaty shop painting cars my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm just done with it. Got burned out.
And then
Realized it was more of a hobby.
Then where'd you move to?
Then I moved to Joliet, which is south end of Chicago. Lived there for a little while. Helped a paint company actually grow to Kansas City. And then I decided I was better off opening my own paint company. So then I had a lot of dealerships where I would take their trade-ins and turn them into like nice new cars ready for their lot, ready to sell. So detail paint, all that. Yeah. And
I learned something new from you every time we
Opening a business with this man.
I know. Yeah. So, he's like
Come
an
on.
onion.
as long as I don't smell like an onion, we're good.
With many layers, sir.
Yeah, like an ogre. All right, anyway. So while painting, 1 year, 2011, winter was kind of slow for car sales. And I decided that there was a company in town that was hiring security. Got into security part-time while I was painting cars and did both. And then I actually was doing security and decided to pick up another job in Jackson County, working in the jail. So I was doing all three, and I was like, all right, well, forget painting cars. I'm not excited about that no more. But working in the jail, that was super fun, let me tell you.
I don't know who said that before.
Yeah, no. That was probably some of my future customers at the dive bar. Anyway, one thing after another, got in security, became a career, worked my way up as director of a company. And then, like most smart business owners, got into finding a good group of peers, mentors, people that are heavy in business of all kinds of investments. Bought my first bar, which actually goes back to living in Houston. I was actually designing a club. It was like my hobby. I kept drawing out a club, planning on the lights, planning on like actual like dance, like a party club. Like, yeah, we're going to get down. Anyway.
Are you a break dancer?
So I started.
Mike, that's a dumb question.
Yeah, he is
I'm
a break
not.
dancer.
I'm too
Gonna
fat
drop
for
it like
that.
it's hot.
The only thing never mind. So back when I was 18, I always wanted to own a club. And then I realized pretty soon into my 20s, I'm not a club person. I don't like clubs. I was actually raised here in town, spent a lot of evenings and weekends at the Zoo Bar downtown. Because back in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, it was cool to have a kid in the bar. That's where I learned how to play pool, probably learned how to gamble, all the fun stuff. So as I got older, decided I always wanted to own a dive bar or some kind of bar instead of a club. So a few years ago, we bought our first dive bar over there in Old Briarcliff.
Shooters?
Had a lot of, Shooters Tavern. Had a lot of fun with that for a little while, and then kind of got burned out and realized I think ultimately what I really was striving for or wanted was a high-end cocktail lounge. Something you could be proud of. Anybody can sling beers or, anybody can have cheap shots or what. There's nothing special there, but to have a cool bar that people want to go to as more of a destination with high-end drinks and something that's actually crafted. I think there's something more exciting about that. So that's actually how I met Roxie.
I was about to say, how did you guys all meet?
Well, Dan and I met a few years ago in business, actually through a networking group, and just kind of hit it off, became kind of buddies, even though we're in two totally different industries. Saw each other a lot, we started hanging out, and then actually when I started coming to the shop, Cigar Lounge, of course, first day I met you, I actually ended up signing up for my membership.
Yep.
I was like, let me get one of them lockers before they're gone. And so hanging out on the Strawberry Hill, actually, I'd started a couple years before that going to like Easy Inn when it actually,
shout out to
it wasn't even Easy Inn yet.
Colonial Club.
Colonial Club. Doing their $5 Wednesday special and tacos.
Still do it, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah. We were just there 2 weeks ago.
3
It's
tacos,
fantastic.
shot of tequila, and Tecate.
Yep.
Yeah, $5.
Tecate now. It used to be a Modelo.
Oh, yeah.
So they've switched it up, but it's still good. And you pay your extra $1, make it $6, you get a shot of Espolón instead of house tequila. It's hell of
Good
a
investment.
Deal.
hell
Solid
of a
investment.
special.
Absolute.
I'm not gonna lie. I know we're going a little off topic, but their vegan tacos are so good. I don't know
Please
if you've
move on.
had them.
I haven't had that.
Do what?
I didn't know they
keep
had
moving.
vegan tacos.
We're not talking about vegan shit.
I'll try them once to say I did.
They're like a black bean melody. I'm not a vegan guy, but they are delicious. So, except for Dan, you guys got to try them out.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, hell, I'm on the hill. If I'm not working, I'm on the hill, and sometimes I'm working on the hill. So I'm always here.
So, how did you meet Roxie?
So you throw all this together. A few years back, started coming to Strawberry Hill, just hang out. People like Dan and other friends talk so highly of it. It's a lot of fun. Cool. Then I joined Shop Cigar Lounge. And then Dan and I actually, a year before this even, old Dan that owned the Mockingbird Lounge was considering selling it. We started talking. Just wasn't a good fit for me at the time. So then I ended up joining Shop Cigar Lounge, hanging out with all your friends in this crowd, which has been great. Then Dan and I were talking about the opportunity that came up from the Mockingbird space that was now available.
Yeah.
And then I got introduced to Roxie because I think Dan and I actually were talking about, hey, this is a real chance to jump in and do something with that space and open it as a great bar in town.
Yeah.
And we were discussing, I don't have time to be the managing partner, and I'm definitely not a bartender. I like being a host more than I like being a bartender. I think it's fun to make cocktails at home, but for crowds, not my thing. It just, nope, not for me.
It's a special breed.
Yeah, you are special. Anyway, so we got to talking. We're like, you know what? We're going to need a third partner. Dan and I are both very busy, but we're both great hosts. We have a great network. We know this thing would be a hit, but we need somebody who really would love to be there every day and make it, pull it together. And Dan's like, well, I got a friend. And talking to another friend in the tiki world, he goes, I have the same friend, and that would be a really good fit for you.
That's good.
So Roxie and I got to meet Mike. Hey, Mike, we see you over there.
Big Mike.
And Dan, Roxie.
Not this Mike, that Mike.
The other,
White
yeah,
Mike,
the other
not black
well,
Mike.
We got a Mike. Everybody wants to be like Mike. Damn it. All right. Doesn't matter. White, black. You're still Mike. I don't want to be like Mike.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dan, Roxie, and I all got together and started kind of putting this thing together. Writing on napkins and just whatever we could find to write on, draw things, drawing shelving. We're like, okay, we're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
We got to meet Adam Whitmer, one of the building owners, and we kind of hit it off first day. And he goes, you know what? You got yourself a bar. So, we had to make it legit. And we all sat down, talked numbers, and if we could make this dream a reality. And now we're here. What is it, 6.5 months, 7 months?
It's been that long.
We're not going to talk about how long.
I'm sorry.
Cough.
We're so close. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah. So this episode will be coming out either this Friday or next. So how do you think you'll be open by then?
We'll open soon. Let's leave it at that, Mike.
I like to say that too.
I stopped giving dates. I'm done giving dates.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're kind of shooting for the possibility of third week of May to do kind of a soft opening for a couple days a week just to kind of get a launch. But we do have some specialty decorating and some things we want to work on as we get going.
Yeah.
We also want to make sure, we're not breaking too much too fast. So, I think it'll probably still be by the end of the May. We'll have something open by end of May.
Grand opening will be sometime in June.
Soon.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Soon.
You can taste it.
I think the other thing to remember too is we've done a very good job of promoting the business.
You guys have,
and with that, we have a lot of people that would love to have the opportunity to come see it. Because if they've been supporting us for these pop-ups we've been doing, how nice would it be to invite them out and say, we want to give you first access because you've been with us since the pop-up days. And that's not something you want to forget about, is people giving their time, their money, their voice to your business by reposting stuff, posting photos that are complimentary to what we're trying to do. And we really want to make sure we take care of those people.
Yeah. Definitely want to say thank you to anybody listening.
Yeah.
We had the Shop Cigar Lounge host
people.
us, so thank you, Mike. We had Blip Roasters actually host us. 403 Club hosted us.
Third place.
Third place.
And third place also hosted us.
awesome.
And I think we had a great turnout at all three events.
Well, I think you guys are doing a good job of spreading the word around and kind of building the excitement up of the place. Because
Trying to.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you take a look at, again, the market we're in right now in Kansas City, it's a booming market. We're in a growth spurt. And when we identified that there was a very big hole that was created when Tiki Cat vacated Westport, and Roxie's been doing pop-ups for years, but a permanent location would actually be something that could potentially sustain itself as long as it's executed with a high degree of success on the cocktail program, making a fun environment, and then ultimately being a good partner to the community, which is what we're trying to do now.
So why Tiki?
Why not?
Yeah. Tiki rocks.
Have you ever had a bad time at a tiki bar?
I've never been to one.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's why I'm excited to go to your guys'.
In a good tiki bar, you're gonna go in. You're gonna forget about life outside, and you're going to escape, which is part of tiki. You're gonna forget about all the shit going on outside. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna get up. You might stumble a little bit depending on how well you prepared yourself for the rum drinks. But you're gonna leave and you're gonna be like, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I want to bring my friends back.
That's a great point. I think the other one too is every time I've been to a tiki bar, Mike, I have to acknowledge the fact that the bartenders and the wait staff are just different people than what I'm experiencing at other bars where they don't want to be there maybe, or they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
You walk into a tiki bar, you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt, you're in a fun environment where people are dressing up or putting on costumes. It's hard to not really enjoy yourself in that environment. People can do it, don't get me wrong, but it's a destination.
Yeah.
It's not a shot in a beer place per se. Again, nothing wrong with those places. It is just a different experience, something we're trying to cultivate in a neighborhood that honestly doesn't have any date night spots.
No, not a lot at all. Yeah.
A place where you can make a reservation, come sit down, have a few nice drinks. And then if you want to go visit one of our neighbors, we'd love to have that opportunity to show you what's in the area. So you come back and see us and also patronize their businesses too.
Yeah.
There's definitely a two-part play to this, right? We want to be one of those destinations when you come to Kansas City from outside of KC and you're like, what is there to do? What should I see while I'm here? We want to be on that top 10 list of here's somewhere fun that you should experience while you're in town.
Yeah.
But we also want to encourage locals to know that, hey, there's a tiki lounge that's available, but it's also available on Strawberry Hill. There's so much of the Missouri side that doesn't even realize Strawberry Hill exists.
Yeah, I know.
And there's a lot of education that's kind of coming in and following our following. So like Roxie's following is huge, and they may know where she's at all the time, but there may be people that didn't realize that Strawberry Hill was a very cool, walkable neighborhood where once you park, there's so many cool things you could do here all in one night or one day. I mean, you could even make a whole day out of it. Start your afternoon at the Shop Cigar Lounge. You could go next door and grab
get something to eat, go down to go to Fat Matt's, go eat. Yeah.
End up at our new bar and grab cocktails before you go to dinner. Or there's plenty to do over here.
So, are there any other tiki bars that are around?
So currently,
You said the tiki one in Westport.
So Tiki Cat closed due to
Post-COVID.
pandemic like right before pandemic. We have Tiki Huna in North Kansas City in the Iron District, but they're not a fully immersive brick and mortar. I mean, they're part of the container ship. Their cocktail program is fantastic. If you haven't been there, go check Trent out.
good.
He's
Yeah.
crushing it. But that's really it.
Really? So there's nothing close to here at all.
And mostly pop-ups from what we've seen.
It's mainly pop-ups. Diana of Condor's Cove, she has been pop-up queen for years.
Yeah,
Total badass too.
She inspired me and was part of the reason why I started doing pop-ups a couple years ago.
Black Dolphin with Jordan too.
Yeah, Black Flamingo.
Oh, sorry, Black
I was about to
Flamingo.
say Black Dolphin's jazz.
So Black Flamingo is our buddy Jordan's home bar.
That's the guy I met, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've met Jordan.
Yeah.
He's done an amazing job kitting out his basement. Like, that thing is nice. So there's like the home bar community in Tiki, and then there's like the Tiki bars.
So it's like a whole community.
Kansas
thing,
City
too.
has a fair amount of home bars. I think Jordan wins. I'm biased
Yeah.
because I love and adore Jordan Morgan. But so like the home bar community has been really fantastic in like support of me with Hellfire, which started all of this madness. Buddies of mine who actually moved out to California, they had Creepers Cove, which was their pandemic home bar that they built.
Yeah.
It was like a horror themed tiki bar.
That's so cool that
Right.
people do this at their house.
So you can manipulate tiki to like your style preferences,
Yeah.
which I think is great.
Now I'm thinking about it. My buddy Skyler, he lives in Seneca, Missouri. He has a tiki bar.
Hell yeah.
And he like pimped it out and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I'm like, yeah, I guess it is like a little community that everyone.
It's a really wonderful community. And like between like trades and just information, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
So tell me about like the drinks. So I know what we're drinking here. It's a really good drink, but you're not just going to go there just to get your run of the mill like old fashioned or a beer. I'm sure
You
that
can.
Yeah.
I want to be able to facilitate everyone. I don't ever want somebody to walk into the bar and be like, "Oh, I want this." Oh, well, I don't have stuff to make that.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I want you to sit and enjoy yourself. If you don't like tiki drinks, I can still make you something else. My brand of tiki is a little weird. I am not your traditional tiki girl. I can make all the traditional drinks. We will have a traditional list in our menu on offer. But
I guess what's a traditional tiki drink?
Pina colada, Saturn.
Pina colada,
Gotcha.
Saturn, Mai
Painkiller.
Tai, Painkiller, Zombies.
All delicious.
Right.
Yeah,
They're all
fantastic.
delicious. I like to go in and make little changes.
Yeah.
So like
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
one of my favorite things is a bitter Mai Tai. It's literally just adding Campari to a Mai Tai. I mean, you change your specs a little bit, but it brings a whole new element to it. With how the industry has gone and the Amaros and liqueurs that are out on the market now, you'd be silly to not try to play with these things.
Yeah.
You'd be silly to not play with outside flavors like taro, honeydew, change it up, give yourself something new.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to sit down, have a drink, and have a good time.
I always talk about this I'm sorry. Houston,
No,
go ahead.
you got it.
I would talk about what Roxie does, almost like what's been the evolution of food and avant-garde cuisine in the last 50 years. Classics, people that you can sit on these, they'll always perform.
Yeah.
And then you give it to an artist and say, how else can you build this? How else can you change this based upon what's seasonally available? How can you change this to make sure you're extracting the most flavor out of everything? The people that pioneered the drinks that we'll have for classics per se, they did amazing things at their time. But over time, as things evolve, we're given the opportunity to build better cocktails because we have access to more information. We're trying different things and we're experimenting where they thought they hit lightning in a bottle to begin with. So why would you keep experimenting?
Yeah.
Like these are selling pina colada. Like everybody's had a pina colada at a resort somewhere and they've said, this is delicious, but I can't drink them all the time.
Yeah.
So when you find things you can tweak and manipulate to become more significant on a regular drinking pattern, it's great. but also what Roxie's going to be doing with mocktails and giving people that don't like drinking alcohol or maybe they can't.
Yeah.
Still gives them a reason to come out, enjoy themselves, and try a drink that otherwise they wouldn't have access to.
Well, it's also not a mocktail that's just juice.
Yeah.
So many, I mean, and the mocktail, non-alcoholic, low ABV, that realm has really skyrocketed over the years, which is fabulous. But there's still a lot of places where like, oh, can I get, a drink without booze in it? Oh, you want some juice? No.
Cranberry juice.
I got juice at home, man. That ain't anything special. So I'm excited for our no ABV, low ABV options as well.
And Roxie takes it a little bit further than that. So what else is cool? Like when she first got with me, she's like, well, I kind of need to know, do you want something sweeter or not so sweet? Me, I love a good sweet Hawaiian or tropical or tiki drink, but I don't want them all night long. I can't drink them forever. But if that's my first cocktail of the night, great. But then I'm going to kind of move on to something else.
Yep.
And she will open that up to people that if they say, hey, I really want X, Y, Z, but maybe not so sweet, she can make that happen and nail it every time. And that's exciting to be able to do.
That's awesome.
Versus being in like a more corporate or chain bar where you just order off the menu, it is what it is. We want to get away from that. She is our artist. And that is
it's one of those, my feelings aren't going to be hurt if you don't like my drinks.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like.
Yeah.
Let me make something for you that you're going to enjoy. Shush. Because I want you to enjoy your experience. I want you to have a good time. I want you to stay and hang out and have 2 drinks or more. I think limiting yourself and not being able to craft something to someone's taste and their preferences.
Yeah, that's a cool
Gotta be
thing
able to do
because, like, if I come in there and I'm like, I don't know what to order, and I'm just like, and you're like, hey,
You want sweet?
sweet? No, it's not
Not
the
sweet?
sweet. Do you want this kind of this?
We have
I think
so
it's
many
cool.
options.
Yeah,
Let's cater. I'm here to cater to you.
yeah,
Because I want you to get the experience.
Well, and if somebody's going out on like a couple's date, and they know that one spouse out of one couple is like, I don't drink nothing but beer. Cool. Come see us anyway, because for the other 3, we will have handcrafted cocktails. And for the one that only does beer, great. We will have some beer selection
yeah.
too for that person. Because we
I'm
want
glad
to
you said
make
something because I think people were kind of like, do they serve other drinks? And I'm glad you said that because yes, you
There
do
will
serve
be
other
beer.
drinks. Yes,
I might even throw an umbrella in it for you.
like here's your tiki beer.
It's been wild to see, as we talk about bartending and kind of what we're talking about building here. I see Roxie as a concierge bartender. You're going to get asked some questions about what you're trying to experience tonight before you get a menu, or to really understand what you're going to order. There's going to be some investigative work done to make sure that what I give you is actually something you're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
Because Roxie knows every component blindfolded in those cocktails, and to be able to give somebody that level of experience of saying, you know what, I love 90% of it, but this little one thing is just hitting me wrong on the back of the throat. That's fine. That's a tweak you can make to a drink, and there might be something else to do. But what many people are sometimes unaware of is the fact that you can ask questions to a bartender. If it's in pursuit of trying to get the drink you really want to have, any good bartender is not going to have a second guess about saying, I'll take as much time as I need to take to make sure you get what you want.
And I think a lot of people appreciate that. Like that's.
But the difference between what is a traditional, speed bartender and a concierge bartender is you have to have the person that wants to ask those questions, and Roxie's that person.
Yeah. So tell me about like the reservation thing, because I know you mentioned a little bit about that. Like, so is that component into the tiki bar?
So we've gone kind of round and round with ideas and how we want to run things with reservations. And I think we've come to the agreement on there's certain days and times where walk-ins are going to be our main business. And we don't need to require reservations. But if you're coming in at a prime time, maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening, you should probably definitely jump on the website, put in a reservation, or if at the very least call and say, hey, are you guys busy tonight? Should I know?
Yeah.
Because we want it to be open to where if, hey, you're traveling to KC or you're just local and all of a sudden you're like, hey, let's do a spontaneous date night. Great. We definitely still want to try and accommodate you if we can. Now, if you come up, I think we were going to actually try to keep some seats available anyway that were going to be reserved, like a bar seat or something like that.
We're going to try to the best of our capability. We are a small space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
I'm
guys are
gonna
going
try
to be.
my damnedest.
Yeah, you guys are going to be
Now,
packed.
now there's
First couple, which is good.
well, and there's both sides to this, right? Say you show up, try to walk in, and we are busy in the moment. We might say, hey, run up the street to Easy Inn or Hillsiders and grab a drink.
Yeah.
And then
We'll text you.
Yeah, we'll send you a text or a message that, hey, we have some seats open. We'll save it for you.
Yeah.
You can run right back up the hill and
That's
jump
awesome.
in. And then on the warmer months, we also have the patio or the deck, so that overlooks downtown, which is great views. It's not the same vibe as inside. You know, if you want to be totally in the dark, quiet atmosphere, well, kind of quiet atmosphere, but it's a fun atmosphere, I guess I should say. Then it'll be different than the deck, but the deck will have the great views. No matter where you end up sitting, it's a win-win. You're going to get the great cocktails. You're either going to get the great view or the full experience inside.
I'd say this, knowing that it, for some people, will be a true destination to go there. Knowing they have a reservation, knowing they have some place to sit, if they're going to get dressed up, if they're going to take the time to get a sitter maybe, and they want to make sure, like, I'm locked in, I have 2 hours with these people, we're going to have that option available to you.
Yeah.
But just like Houston and Rex were saying, we want to make this still a neighborhood place where you can feel compelled to just walk up and say, hey, can I get 2 seats at the bar, or can I get a 4-top? We want to be accommodating, but we want to make sure that the people that are really dedicated to coming in and being a part of the experience, they can do that if they're a planner.
Yeah.
And we want to reward those people that jump ahead and say, hey, I'm bringing 8 people in. I need that space. Great. Thanks for telling us, because we can actually build this thing to where it works now.
Yeah.
But without that extra knowledge, we open ourselves up to potentially getting hit a little blindsided. We don't want that.
And actually, while we were talking about that and being able to walk up, walk in, so we did change the bar and the building layout just a little bit. The bar itself structurally is the same, but we blacked out the front windows. So we are blocking out any natural light, street lights, things like that. And we are moving. Yes.
Darkness.
And we are moving from the front.
Don't do it, Mike.
I know. I almost did.
The jokes, Mike. the
Charlie
jokes.
Murphy. Sorry.
We
Get
are,
another one, you rich motherfucker.
You started this, Roxie, by the way.
Darn.
Darn.
bad.
Yeah.
It goes cure for cancer.
Yeah.
Anybody who is visiting, especially if they already know the space, they will want to know that you won't enter off the main front door anymore. That'll be our ADA entrance. So we'll have a sign. If anybody needs to use that, give us a shout and we'll come unlock it, open it for you, get you ready.
So the
get your
entrance
way
will
in.
be where the
Actually
deck
off
is.
the deck.
Yeah.
Yes. So that'll be our new grand entrance. And the reason we did that is actually cut down on the natural light that'll come in from the door opening and closing all the time. We are trying to create as much of a secluded interior as possible. So you're not disturbed by a lot of outside noises, outside light, outside anything, even from the bathroom. There's 2 bathrooms in our hallway, but we built a partition wall that'll actually stop a lot of the light. So if someone's walking in and out of the restroom, you're not disturbed right on the other side while you're trying to enjoy a moment with your spouse or
I guess
friends.
that's
or
the
whatever.
thing, that it's got to be like kind of dark in there.
Yes.
You don't want to know what time it is when you're drinking like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like walking into a casino. There's no clocks. There's no. You're
You're gonna be pumping in oxygen too.
Just worry about enjoying yourself, and we'll handle the rest for you.
Yeah.
There'll be a crap pit in the basement. We're just not going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's one thing I do here. It's like this lighting is everything. So it's like at night I definitely like dim the lights where it's like it sets the mood. Like you don't want a bar to be bright as day.
Well, ambiance is important, especially in a tiki bar. We have to have a certain level of light, but then you also want your pops of color. So you'll see a little bit of that. Actually, Roxie, depending on her mood, can actually custom change some of her lighting. So maybe red's a fun devilish day. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's blue another day. We'll see. She gets to do that. Again, and talking about the interior, it's not just going to be like hard tables and just chairs like a traditional restaurant. We actually are going to have a like lounge chair section. We will have a couch section. We will have more traditional seating where it's like the banquet seating with another chair and a smaller table. So if you're just there on a date night, we'll have something more romantic, intimate for you. But then we're also going to have a party table. So like a 10 top.
Yeah.
That can actually work a couple ways. If you have a big group and you want to let us know in advance, hey, I got a larger party, do that. Do your reservation for something bigger. But we've also talked about using that as shared space.
Yeah.
So
Community table.
Yeah. So if we have a 4-top sitting there, but we have 6 seats open and you come in with another 3 or 4 people, cool. We might stick you guys all together at the party table to have a cool experience.
Meet a stranger, make a new friend.
Well, I think of Bonell's in Nashville. It's a brunch place. They don't start serving food until the table's full. So you don't get to say, I don't want to sit with those people. You sit with the people, you wait for the food, you're happy to be there. But what you find out is that you're going to meet so many wonderful people that have the same shared interest in that moment of being there for that food or that drink, that you might be able to turn them on to a restaurant or a place to go and get a drink at that they never knew about before. I think that's going to be the main driving goal for me for that table, is just to get people to talking and having a good time. And it doesn't have to be such a sterile environment of, oh, we're sitting here and you're sitting there. It's like we're all sitting together.
Yeah. And see, my favorite experience with a similar situation is McSorley's in New York. You're in New York City. If you've never been to McSorley's, you totally should stop by. It's one of the oldest pubs in the country. Basically, you walk in, they just say how many you got, and they pick where you're going to sit. And then they'll walk around. They do have a couple wine options, some stuff, but most of it is just lighter dark beer. They'll look at you, and the server's going to say lighter dark, lighter dark, lighter dark.
Like,
and they serve you two mugs of beer at a time, and you're just sitting at everything's a party table. And when I tell you that even if you're an introvert, it's a very cool experience because you will sit down and you think you're going to be shy. You think something's going to happen, but then you kind of start up a little bit of conversation. Your server can also get some cool, fun situations going to get everybody, interacting. And it's something you don't see enough. I think if more people did this, they would actually enjoy it because it is pretty exciting.
That's cool.
Especially if you're going somewhere you've never been and all of a sudden they just see you with some randoms and you're like, this is going to be a first and very interesting. Yes.
So what about food?
Nope.
I know that's been a question that I get a lot about Blue Palm.
So we are, unless Roxie wants to feed you a lot of pineapple, maybe a few other things.
I need some fruit.
This is the Pretty Woman bar scene where she's eating olives. Is that what we're talking about, guys? Good.
So we have actually considered down the road in the future, we might have something that's more like a snack or appetizer, something more like charcuterie or something, but that's still a ways out. We haven't finalized anything like that. Right now, we really just want to focus on the cocktails, the environment, the experience. Food's great, but we want to encourage people that, hey, if you know you're going out for a nice dinner tonight, make us your first stop. Grab a cocktail first, have a good time, go grab your dinner. Or,
come see us
hey,
after dinner.
Exactly. You went to dinner and you're not quite done with your night. Your babysitter's there till midnight or 10 or whatever you got going on. Stop by and grab your nightcap afterward.
Yeah.
And we're going to be open until a little after midnight, 12:30 or so. I think it'll be a good time. Nothing really good happens after midnight, so we don't want to be open too late. But again, we are serving really strong drinks.
Yes.
So we don't want people also, making the wrong choices either. So
We're there for a good time, not a long time.
yeah.
I knew with every ounce of my body you were going to say that.
Thank you.
Great.
That's a lot of ounces.
Yeah, fuck you. I didn't need that right now, buddy. I'm working out, okay?
Because you're tall.
I'm working out.
That's
because I'm tall.
Every inch
You
high,
dick.
Dan.
I forgot what my next question was going to be.
Next.
Yeah, you did.
Dang it. So, I was going to say, so you brought another drink, right?
I did.
Are we ready to try it?
Be more ice.
I'll take more of what we just had. That was excellent. Roxy actually surprised us with that one. Oh, I'll take some of that too. Whatever.
So
I'll
what's
take
the next
whiskey
one?
So this one is a rye whiskey base because I love rye whiskey. I mainly love Overholt rye whiskey because I think it is delicious. It's cheap. It makes a fabulous cocktail. You can drink it straight. It's multifunctional, which I love. I do a ginger demerara syrup, which demerara sugar, fantastic, really lovely notes, very prominent in tiki cocktails. Pineapple ginger juice and some lime juice, and then milk clarified.
So there's a lot of ingredients that go in these drinks.
Yes. This is actually probably my lowest ingredient drink.
How many ingredients do you say to go to a normal tiki drink?
5 to 6.
That's a lot.
Mike, it's almost like making a steak and then you add spices to it.
Uh-huh.
You have the base, right? That's your spirit. And then everything goes into it is seasoning. Bitters are season. Bitters are the seasonings, the spice rack of the cocktail world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's so many different varieties available, and you can make bitters out of pretty much anything.
So how many drinks do you think you'll have that?
I think
Like your signature cocktails, I guess.
opening menu for the crew cocktails, I'm looking at, I think, 6 or 7.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll have, I think, 4 to 6 classic.
But you can pretty much though make anything really if they like I don't want this, but I want these kind of ingredients.
If you want to have a fuck around and find out, I got you.
I like that. You should have that option.
God.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
$15.
We'll get those T-shirts made.
That one's about 18.
It's about 18. Yeah.
We cut that. Thank you.
All right. Are we gonna
Fuck
try
around
this? Do we
and
need
find
more
out.
ice?
Let me also say, just for legal purposes, fuck around and find out also comes with an Uber ride. We will charge you for it, but you will get home safe.
Fuck around and find out can still be responsibly done. It's just a completely different realm of cocktail.
I still think
Yeah,
there should be the
responsibly.
Dan on the menu. It's just a 32-ounce Negroni.
Jesus.
That one comes with an Uber ride.
Yeah.
That definitely comes.
pizza.
Yeah.
Call that a Tuesday. It's good.
And a trash
All right, we
can.
gotta try this. Do we? So, ice.
Ice?
All right.
Yeah.
Does everybody need ice?
Yes.
I'm good, actually.
Yes. I think you're
I want to
ice.
try this.
Twitter.
Do
We're
what?
good. I think we're good.
All right, let's try it.
Done.
What is this cocktail called?
Here, pour
So
Mike
this one
first.
is Cabin Creature.
Cabin Creature. How do you come up with the names? I would love just to be like, I'm gonna.
You ever
call
see those
this
mafia
drink-
name generators, like your name, your birth month, and your date? There's one for tiki drinks that Roxy developed
The
a few years
mafia
back.
generator. Your name.
You ever see that before?
No. Your
Like if
name?
mine's December 20th, I'm like little
Mike, let me
little
smell
volcano. Like
Hey,
that's what it comes up
She
to.
wants you to drink a little more. She
Jesus.
said you're more fun when you're drunk.
Oh my God.
Nailed it.
You do realize I
want
have
me-
to run this
want me to-
business after them.
You want me to text your wife, tell her you'll be home some point?
Well, I'll
business
be home
runs
at
itself,
11
Mike.
o'clock. Probably 11 o'clock tomorrow. Do what now?
The business runs itself.
Not really. I wish it did. So I want to get back to the mafia thing. So first name.
First, like your first name is the month,
Uh-huh.
and then the second name
Your
is
first name is the month.
and then
Like,
the second
you were
second
born?
name is the. Yes, Mike. The
Sorry,
month you were
okay.
born.
So January.
I don't have it on me, so this is a futile exercise right now. But I'll send it to you so you can.
Okay.
You can
I want
reference
to know
it.
my mafia name. That's why.
Big Black. Better.
Big Black. I like Big Black. Big Black. I like it. Like, hey, yo, call Big Black. He'll handle it. All right. So I got to try this drink.
So knock your
You
teeth back.
definitely don't realize it's whiskey, that's for sure.
It's not. I don't believe you that there's whiskey in it.
Well, and interestingly enough, like what Roxy's doing with this masking of flavors of the base spirit, where it usually kind of harsh, is becoming more and more popular. The idea that we're making stuff more palatable to drink to get people to try different things. For a long time, I mean, Overhold. If you're a service industry person, you know Overhold like the back of your hand because that was your shift shot or
Yeah.
whatever it might be. But it's still what $17 a bottle. 18?
It's moved up. It's like in the 20, 25 range now.
True, but I mean that's just inflation for me. That's just what stuff costs. But it's still, I think, the longest running distillery in the country, if I want to say right.
Over
that off the top
old
of my head.
River.
They've never stopped producing even through
Yeah.
Prohibition because they manufactured for the military.
Yeah.
So they have almost like Coca-Cola, this cult following from people from that generation.
So did you come up with all these drinks or did? Oh, really?
My little brain children.
That is awesome. Like, were you making them before? Or you just like, all right, let's sit down and try to make
So
some stuff.
both of these came from Hellfire, but they're so good that
So
I can't.
what is Hellfire?
So Hellfire
I
was
know what
what
it
I
is, but you
did.
got to tell everybody.
I did my little weird witchy tiki version pop-ups. I did like 2 years of pop-ups. And so these were some of my first cocktails. Well, Cabin Creature was one of my first cocktails I came up with.
That's awesome.
It's been funny because we have now 3 volumes or 3 different options for the Blue Palm Tiki Punch. So at 4:03 on Friday, I tried the volume 3 4 times in a row, I want to say.
We finally just put it in a pint glass for you.
You didn't
That's
bring
true.
any
That's true.
for me to try?
I didn't have any more left.
I'm just the
We're opening
fake
a
owner.
place you
I'm
can
an
get one,
empty
I'm pretty
shell.
sure.
I don't get to try nothing good.
But that idea that you can have multiple iterations or multiple different types of these drinks by changing small things. And it's a process of constant evolution because you have to react to what people are telling you.
Yeah.
It's on the fly, you're taking notes, and that's what Roxy is extremely proficient and great at, is understanding her patron and knowing what they're going to want next based upon what they said about the first drink.
Yeah.
Because if you say, oh, it's good, that's not going to be an answer Roxy can accept. She's going to want some detailed information to make it a better experience. And that's really where I think a lot of great bartenders make their mark, is they find out what their people like and they focus on that. And they push them outside their comfort zone sometimes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, those people come back because that person is listening to them and wants them to have a good experience.
Too many people just BS and like, oh, it's great. And then they leave and they're like, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you're an
Don't
artist,
lie to me. I can take it.
know you're
yeah,
right.
but it's not. It doesn't benefit anybody if we don't know the truth anyway. So
Yeah.
that's where Roxie really kind of dials things in to make sure
All right,
everybody's
Roxy,
loving
there's
it.
a lot on your shoulders, girl.
If you're drinking beer, what kind of beer do you usually drink? If they say Coors Light, Roxy's going to know I can't overproof this because they're not going to be able to drink it. It says I like double IPA and triple IPAs. She's going to hammer them in a good way, but
She's gonna make them grow
Or a
some
bad
hair on
way.
their
You
chest.
never know.
But it's about that thing, which is if you're building an immersive experience like we're doing, you have to curate that experience
Yeah.
to the person and make sure that they feel welcome and spotlighted a little bit about what they like and what they don't like. If you can do that, they'll come back. I believe that. I really do.
I think it's so cool that you guys are like taking the time to really like. I mean, you're thinking about every little detail. I love that.
Good example is, one of the things that happens, because again, Roxy is the talent, right? But when we do these pop-ups, I'll walk around, Houston will walk around, we'll talk to people and say, hey, thanks so much for coming in. Can you give us some feedback?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what you like, what you didn't like? What's your favorite? All this is just making that person feel heard, but also really taking the note, which
Yeah.
is Tarot Deck is one we have on our last pop-up menu, and every person that tried it was over the moon about it. Absolutely.
What was it called?
Tarot Deck. And it's one of those things that's it's a little nutty, it's a little spicy, and it's I think unlike a lot of cocktails people have ever tried before.
Yeah.
Different will win eventually as long as it's executed well. And Roxy has put together a menu that is, I believe, going to really put us on the map for people that like good cocktails but love a great experience too.
And I love it how you're bringing something different on the hill too.
Well, Houston and I have been marketing together for years in our other businesses, and the one thing we've consistently figured out is different wins.
Different definitely wins.
If you want to be just like everybody else, you are just as forgettable as everybody else. And when you take something that should not be here and put it right in the middle of that environment, people are like, how the hell do you think this is going to work? It's going to work because I believe in it. And that's usually where most things go south. The person doing it doesn't really believe their own bullshit.
That's pretty true in sales. I think a lot of people sell stuff just to get a check, and they don't actually believe in what they're selling. They just want you to hurry up, sign here. It's like the used car sales deal. As soon as you sign, they're like, okay, bye. They forgot you were even there.
No,
Like,
it's the best parallel I can draw, which is if I believe in what I'm selling, I'm going to sell with different passion than if I'm just reading off a script, right? If this was a TGI Fridays in the 80s where we're trying to just hustle drinks, we can do that no problem. If we're trying to build something where it's going to last the test of time, it has to be generational love for a building, for a place. Why is Bright's so popular? Because they do a great job.
Yeah.
Why is 403 killing it, right? Why is Fat Matt's killing it? Because they've made environments where people feel compelled to come back. Easy in, right? They've created situations that bring a level of excitement for the night they're coming in. 5 for $5, buy one, get one on burger night.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that kind of stuff anymore.
Wait,
because
there's a buy one, get one there?
buy one, get one burgers on Thursday.
Are you serious?
See you
damn
Thursday.
it. Now I got to come back on Thursdays? I thought Wednesdays was king.
I thought it was just
Their
Wednesdays
house
that they had the
tacos are
special.
awesome. I didn't
Yeah.
know about buy one, get one burger.
And here's the thing, like you have, and here's why I give Easy-N's chef a lot of credit, Khalid.
Yeah.
The guy's,
Dizzle.
the guy's a legend, an absolute legend. And the fact of the matter is he has helped create something by his consistency in cooking that is very much parallel to what we're doing in developing a bar, which is you have to be consistent instead of intense. Consistency beats intensity every day of the week.
Yeah.
True story.
And when you have a great product delivered in the same way over and over and over again, it's like, why is Town Topic so busy? They're consistent. And they're good. And they're very, very good. I think what we can do here and what we have strived to do in our pop-ups is create an environment where people come and they have a great experience in an unconventional setting, and that proves the quality of the product.
Yeah.
If you can have a great time in a place you did not expect to have a great time, that libation is really helping you along the way. So, a lot of fun.
Let's speak about having a great time. There's actually another piece to Blue Palm Tiki Lounge, but we are actually doing our own Airbnb above the Tiki Lounge. So if you are trying to just have a date night again and get out of wherever you live and go do something cool and fun, You can actually come rent our Airbnb upstairs on the second floor, which also has the same grand downtown views. But if you're traveling from out of state or out of the country and you're like, what's a cool atmosphere that nobody else has? I've never heard of an Airbnb above a tiki lounge ever.
No.
Or anything similar. So that's something else you could do is come stay with us and come downstairs for some cocktails and
That's awesome.
have a great time.
Well, mind you, to be able to create a manifestation of all the great things around us and a binder for the people that stay at that Airbnb and saying, this is where we want you to eat. This is where you get your coffee. This is where you should probably, if you're in a car, this is where you should drive to and check out.
Yeah.
We have amazing food in this town. And I think a lot of people pigeonhole us as a barbecue town.
Oh, it's
We
so
have
much
amazing
more.
barbecue. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. We have stunning barbecue. But some of the meals I've brought or been able to share with people from New York, from Chicago, from LA, were like, this isn't Kansas? I'm like,
Yep.
yeah. And there's 4 more places around the corner even better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you never get out of the barbecue lines, you'll never
agree.
experience it.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to wrap this up. Tell people why they should go to your place. Like
I've got a Vince Lombardi speech prepared for this, but you guys go first.
Do it.
All right, we're ending with Dan.
Yes.
End with Dan.
Come check us out. I mean, we're a fully immersive tiki experience that's not going to be completely traditional. Come see for yourself. I have faith in what we've built and are building and will continue to build. That I want people to come in and check it out and give their own opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely put together 3 very passionate people. As passionate
tell.
about success, passionate about experiences, passionate about how we take care of people and treat people. That's a really big deal for us overall.
Yes.
And I know we have a winner here with what we're doing. And I'd say out of all 3 of us, the coolest thing that we're probably all passionate about is just sharing experiences with others. We like to travel. We like to have different food. We like to have different drinks. We like meeting people. We like different cultures. We like everything. So if we can create our own little culture at Blue Palm that attracts people from everywhere, that's all we could ask for.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to nail that 100%. Even if it's an ever-evolving thing. You could come by and see us later this year. And 5 years from now, you might come see us again. You're like, I've been gone for a while. And you're going to be like, yeah, you guys are still growing and doing things. This is awesome. And I don't think there could really be a better compliment than that.
Awesome.
So I don't know what the hell Dan's about to follow me up with a Vince
Yeah,
Lombardi
we got to hear this
speech.
Vince Lombardi speech.
What is about to happen? All ounces of Dan.
I'm ready.
Here it comes.
Winners are defined by
Winners.
moments. Now, I would say this, which is in a time where the value proposition for going out is getting worse and worse because people are trying to squeeze all the money they can out of something in efforts of lining their pockets. We're creating something that I think is going to really try and reinvest in the community through philanthropy, through bringing groups in to use our space, to allow people to use that wonderful view to promote whatever they're promoting. And then mostly creating more of a sense of that community that already exists in Strawberry Hill.
Yeah.
It's so hard to quantify to people what happens when you come over here consistently. You come here once a year, you're never going to really dig in, right? But when you start driving up and down 6th or 7th or even 5th and you start seeing, oh, that's different. Oh, that's different. That's growing. That's getting better.
Yeah.
You know, and with that, we love the fact that we're building something from scratch. When I say we didn't gut the place, but no original piece of that bar has been untouched by this process.
Yeah.
So we're making it our own. We're trying to make it sustainable for a long amount of time. And part of that is we're going to implement great service programs, an amazing bar and cocktail program, and create an environment where you're going to feel good about spending that money with us, knowing we're going to reinvest it back into our communities.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep people employed. We're going to pay them a good wage. We're going to make sure they can live off one job. We're going to try and do something that, you know, from a service model is hard to do just because, you know, everything costs more money now. Mm-hmm. But I'm not doing this for money. This is the love of the game for me. I wanted to create something with great people, and I have the flexibility in my life to do so. And I don't have this doesn't have to pay my rent.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to create something that's going to have longevity with these wonderful people. And I think as we're doing it as a team, that sense of community, that sense of we're a team has really come through in the last few weeks as this gets closer and closer to being open.
Yeah.
But also I have to be very aware and supportive of the fact that we have amazing people around us that have been very supportive through this whole process. And we would not exist without those people. The community is what makes something great, not the business itself. You don't have community walk into your business every day. You're not a part of it. You're on the outside. We want to be home base for people. We want to be a beacon of light in an otherwise murky and dark night.
Look at that. That was a Lombardi speech.
Strawberry Hill is just teeing off.
I didn't even take my
We're
shirt
just
off.
about to be
I
a
mean,
piece of
You
it.
can do it.
No.
It's all right.
Still time.
And if you
There's
guys,
still time.
if you
Yeah.
guys would like to see Dan take his
3 more
shirt
of
off,
You have to
please
pay
sign up for
extra.
reservations on Thursday
Yeah.
nights at Blue Palm Tiki
Yeah.
Lounge. You'll want to be there right about 7:15.
Up into the stage.
It's
Get those dollars out. Big Dan's coming down the stairs, ladies. He's packing 325 pounds of goodness. He wants to see every part about you tonight.
I like it. And make sure you owe your cinnamon sticks at the bar. No,
We're going to cut this all out, right?
no, absolutely
No,
not.
this is definitely going in.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Of course, of course.
so
I
much.
can-
And also, thanks for opening a business in Strawberry Hill.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm like you guys. I want to support the community. I want everyone to come in. I want something new.
Yeah.
Bring to the hill. So I'm definitely out of the ordinary for most people down here. So
But I do want to give you a real quick shout out, though. You reached out early and you wanted to support us, and to see this place packed out with people supporting you and supporting us,
Yeah.
and exposing people to this place for you. I thought that was a really cool experience.
it was awesome. That was an awesome night.
And I just remember getting home and realizing I had to strip on my deck in 3-degree temperature because I was covered in cigar smoke. It was
sounds
great.
about right.
It was a lot of fun,
Yep.
but I mean,
Yeah.
definitely thanks so much for that again.
Of
That was a
course,
major, major thing for us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
I'm
it.
glad that you guys came in, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. We had a good time. Now I can't wait to patronize you guys. So I'm
Don't
gonna get on
patronize
that.
me. Oh wait, no, patronize me.
I'm gonna get on that list, and you just let me know when I can sign up to reserve a spot. So
Yes. If people haven't followed us yet, check us out on Instagram,
Yep.
Facebook, our
Blue Palm
website. Yep. You can check us out at Blue Palm Tiki. Yeah.
Website should be going live soon.
awesome.
And if you don't know what Strawberry Hill is, jump on our website. We're
see
currently
it.
building out a little map of all the businesses nearby. So
That's even better.
if
Yeah.
you don't know about where to go, what to do, we will definitely help with that. And
Yeah,
if you want to just make us your first stop, you're like, it's my first time to Strawberry Hill, please tell us that. We will make sure your night is successful for
Yeah.
sure.
We will give you a very long and in-depth list.
We'll tell you where to go, who to meet, who to ask for. And
start at
Probably what to
McDonald's.
drink is in Strawberry Hill, but you're not going to be mad about it.
McDonald's in Minnesota is where you start your night.
Start it, and then that's where you end it.
No, please don't do
because
that.
it's 24 hours. Just kidding.
There's
Well-
still a 24-hour?
I think so.
Hot damn.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, and I really think so because when I was at the sheriff's office, we would go there late. Sorry, that's.
Dang, I was
way
going to
off
say, you
topic.
still got 7th Street Casinos 24 hours. You got a lot of stuff.
You look like a
that's
double
popping over on
cheeseburger
you.
man, Mike.
Yeah,
3 of those.
that and
large Coke.
McChicken.
Yeah.
I don't drink a lot of pop, so it's normally like a water or orange iced.
Orange iced tea is not better than Coca-Cola.
No, I'm not saying it's
Not better for you. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah,
not better for you.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying I just don't drink a lot of pop.
Mike's going to eat at Clean Eats forever so he can enjoy his
Yeah, I
orange
can't wait
sodas,
for that. We didn't even talk about
yeah.
that, but yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
All right, we got to end this. I'm glad you guys
right.
came on and appreciate it. I wish you tons of success, and I can't wait for you guys to be open.
Thanks, Mike.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we are out.
Goodbye, everybody.